Hi YouTube, I'm Matt and I'm going to be reacting to the brand new teaser for Masters of the Universe, the movie, the live action movie, which drops in literally a couple of months. So this is quite late as it turns out for a teaser. Before I start, I'd love it if you could subscribe to my channel for all things He-Man, Transformers, all things 80s. For those of you that know the channel will know that I dropped on Boxing Day 2025 my Masters of the Universe 80s cartoon crossover. It's a full episode where He-Man takes on Unicron. I've used old footage and old audio and mashed it all up, and he teams up with all kinds of 80s cartoon heroes, and there's a few 70s and 90s cartoons thrown in there for good measure. I'll put a link somewhere at the top for you if you fancy checking out that episode. But because I was making that, I pretty much spent the best part of the end of last year watching He-Man all the time, listening for quotes that I could use, looking for clips I could use, editing it took hours and hours. So I've been completely and utterly living in Eternia, so it seems, for the last 6 months or so. And of course I did grow up in the 80s, so I watched He-Man when it aired on the TV. I had all the figures, I had the comic books. I absolutely loved the show. So let's see if the trailer looks any good.
All that stuff that only exists in legends and bedtime stories. Talking tigers, spaceships, and magic swords that can make a man as mighty as a god. Where I come from, that stuff is real. Why did you send me away?
I wanted you to be safe. So I sent you to a place I knew that they'd never find you. This
obsession with nerd stuff and sword things, it's not a good look for human resources.
I know it sounds crazy, but that sword is gonna show me the way home.
Sir, you can't do that.
Don't worry, the sword's mine.
Hold on, it's about to get weird.
What am I supposed to do? Take the sword. You protect them.
Okay, He-Man, the movie. You know what, from the trailer that looks pretty good. The Adam look is good. It looks like Adam. Okay, he's been sent to Earth. I guess there was always going to be an element of Earth there. And for those of you that remember the 1980s version of live action He-Man, there was of course Dolph Lundgren played He-Man, and a large part of that movie, in fact most of the movie I think, was set on Earth. I remember Courtney Cox was in it. I don't remember a lot more about it, to be honest. What I do remember, the Skeletor in this, from the very brief glimpse we got of him, sort of looks more Skeletor-y than the one did in the 80s movie. But yeah, obviously there wasn't a lot of Skeletor there, and I guess they're probably trying to keep a lot of that, and in fact He-Man himself, they were trying to sort of minimise the footage, I think, of those guys on the screen, and a lot of it was Adam in there. But what I saw of it, I liked it. Just trying to think now, yeah, okay, he's looking for his sword on Earth. That gives you some sort of grounded Earth stuff, certainly for people who aren't really Masters of the Universe fans or knowledgeable about it. That gives some grounding to those fans when they go and see it. Looks like Teela, maybe. I'm guessing that's Teela in a way. Looks like maybe Teela goes to bring him back from Earth. Maybe he uses a sword or something and it calls out. So they know where he is, or they know where to go and pick him up from. And during that shot, when they were lowering them down from within the ship, we got to see Battlecat, or was that Cringer? I didn't see any of the sort of Battlecat headgear. Whether Battlecat doesn't wear it in this, I don't know, or whether that was actually Cringer. But at one point, it did growl in a very non-Cringery way. So maybe that is Battlecat without the headgear. Yeah, I liked what I saw of Eternia in that. There was some nice shots. Looks like they've done a great job of sort of recreating Eternia. Also looks like clearly there's some kind of a massive war and Adam has to be sent away. And they come back, by the look of it, to a lot of destruction, including Castle Grayskull from what we saw. We got a very brief glimpse of the Queen. When it looks like she sent Adam away, presumably as the war started. She looked good. Nobody's ever going to look exactly like the Queen in the cartoon. And I guess, you know, that is the crux of it, really, isn't it? All the fanboys, like myself, will inevitably compare everything on the screen to what it was like in the cartoon. You know, whether we should or not, that's probably what we're going to be doing. I like the shots of Adam at his desk. He's got himself a job, and I like the him under his name. Interesting. And obviously he's known as being a bit of a geek because he just keeps searching for a sword. But yeah, and you know, the few bits we heard his voice, it sounded a bit the weak, pathetic Adam character. So yeah, that's it looks like he's nailed it, in all fairness. Obviously they've got the pink shirt to be like Adam's pink shirt in the cartoons. So I'm sort of happy with what I've seen of Adam, and the very few brief glimpses we got of He-Man, I thought he looked great. Sort of a little way through the trailer, we saw a brief glimpse of some kind of a big creature diving on top of police cars. Perhaps that could be Beastman. It definitely had a Beastman look to it. I guess time will tell. And of course, the moment I was waiting for throughout pretty much that entire trailer was either by the power of Grayskull or I have the power, and we got a little bit of the I have the power at the end, you know, and that looked great. There was little hints as he looked like he was going to lift the sword a couple of times. I wasn't sure how much they'd show of that in the trailer, but you know, that's going to be pretty cool, I'm sure, how they do that. And you know, I have seen a few videos online where people have had sort of sneak peeks at this movie, at the scripts and clips they've seen at various events, you know, and people are feeling quite positive about it. And if I'm honest, after watching that, I'm feeling quite positive about it as well. It definitely looks like it captures the Masters of the Universe cartoon vibe, certainly more than the 80s movie did. So right now I'm excited about it, and I like the look of what I'm seeing. This is probably a good time to announce that I am actually working on a second Masters of the Universe cartoon crossover. I enjoyed the first one so much, and I've spent the best part of the last two or 3 years working on 80s cartoon crossover episodes. I just can't get enough. I get so much joy from bringing to life my vision of what could happen in these things. I quite literally spend hours taking frame by frame and cutting out the background so that I can change and make it look like the characters where I want them to be, and then sort of reanimating it back in Adobe Premiere. You know, I get such joy from bringing these things to life that I do. And you know, from the comments I've had and the likes and the shares that you guys have been doing, you know, you guys are really enjoying my crossovers as well. So I intend to carry on, and as I say, I am actively working on a Masters of the Universe second episode crossover. But in the meantime, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, drop a comment below. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so, and I'll see you next time.
With this magic spell, we shall open a gateway and bring forth a powerful entity, mighty enough to overcome He-Man and all of Eternia. A magic piece more powerful than I thought. Look!
I can't deflect them all. Can you help us? It's a good thing we were in the neighborhood.
Destroy them now! Onward! Onward! Victory is ours!
There is only one person on this planet who may prevent this catastrophe.
Well, I guess this is goodbye.